Hello there guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Once again, we're back with even more Star Wars Battlefront 3 rumours. Unfortunately, I was asleep when this was posted, so by the time I woke up on Sunday morning, there were no traces of it. However, thanks to my friend The Force Report, I was made aware of this last night, so I'm going to be covering it for you all now. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description for you to check out. Before getting into the rumours, if you want to stay up to date with all things Battlefront and Star Wars gaming, then be sure to subscribe to the channel for news coverage, speculation, discussions and much more, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you can see when the news and content that I release drops. As with all of these videos right now, Battlefront 3 has not yet been confirmed, so do take all of these rumours with a grain of salt, as they could be false or simply just educated guesses, so try not to get your hopes up too high. Now, the Reddit user goes by the name Throwaway Leak Battlefront 3, and he explains that this account isn't his main one, obviously, and that he'll be using this to post future details should he receive any. It's also worth mentioning that he himself has stated that you shouldn't believe everything he's written, and things can and no doubt will change as time goes by. People are always very quick to judge when it comes to these posts, which is absolutely fair, but the fact that this one is so long, and he even stated that you shouldn't believe everything, etc., leads me to believe that he could very well be telling some sort of truth. I have nothing to suggest that he's lying or even telling the truth, but why go into so much effort just to tell a lie? Also, with this post being so long, I won't go over absolutely every single detail as there is so many, however I will touch upon the more important things from this post. I appreciate I have kept you waiting for these details for quite a long time in the video already, so let's get right into it. Like the other rumours, he stated that Battlefront 3 is in very early development and that DICE is focusing on Battlefield 6. Well, we already knew that Battlefield was the focus at DICE for the moment, and anyone could make an educated guess about Battlefront being in early development. Also, because it's in supposedly very early development, things will likely be subject to change. An idea said in this post could later be shut down or developed further, but only time will tell. With regards to sources, he doesn't actually give any specifics, however he claims that they are reliable and that he himself is a huge fan of the Battlefront franchise. Take that how you will, obviously there's no proof either way, so it's generally better to assume that it's false so that you don't get your hopes up. Now we're really getting into the meat of it. He said that whilst Battlefront 3 isn't in any big production stages yet, there have been discussions about its creative direction and content that could possibly be featured in the game, and this is also why things are subject to change. It's very early on, and anyone should understand that when you start a project, your outcomes won't necessarily be what you first intended. A lot of things will go through several iterations and big changes, whereas others will be stopped early on or introduced quite late. So he says that there currently isn't a planned date for the reveal yet. However, someone high up has created a sample of what the reveal trailer could look like. The trailer was simply the Battlefront 3 logo that looks like this, appearing on a black screen with some music from The Empire Strikes Back. Now, one of the first Battlefront 3 rumours said that there would be a logo reveal within the first half of this year, which is close to what this guy says, but once again, any of this could just be made up and he could have seen the previous rumour, so try not to believe anything. He then goes on to say that there won't be any campaign of sorts, and the decision behind that was mostly made due to the negative reception of the Battlefront 2 campaign, with Lucasfilm Games suggesting that Star Wars stories should be left to other projects. If this is true, then I honestly think this is the best thing for Battlefront 3. Obviously, it's always nice to have a new story, but I think Battlefront 3 really should just focus on a multiplayer experience. With regards to Battlefront 2 going free for a week on Epic Games, this was supposedly done for a number of reasons. Firstly, to see how much interest there would be in Battlefront, and also to see how long people would stick around for. Again, anyone can make stuff up like this, and I was saying these kind of things weeks ago. It does make perfect sense for EA to do something like this though, and to know that there's as much interest as there was, now would be the perfect time to reveal a third installment, even if the game is 3 to 4 years away. According to the rumour, DICE wants Battlefront 3 to be bigger than Battlefront 2 was at launch, which seems perfectly reasonable. I obviously wouldn't expect it to be as big as the end of Battlefront 2, but bigger than the start is a really solid foundation to work on post-launch. Speaking of post-launch, according to this rumour, there will be a huge emphasis on post-launch content, especially as we're getting so many shows and films over the coming years. The game will also include content from all 9 films and anything in between, so things like Rebels, Mando and more. This guy also says that DICE has been given more freedom with regards to what will be added to the game. however it will all have to be approved first. The approval process for Battlefront 2 was a long one, and Dennis Brownfeld also said in an interview with Bombastic that approvals were the hardest part of Battlefront 2, so hopefully now it's a lot more streamlined for Battlefront 3 should it actually be in development. Focusing more on the content side of things a little now, he says that heroes, ships, vehicles and classes will be back. However, it will be done in a very different system to the battle points from Battlefront 2. So if this is all true, then I'm honestly hoping that DICE allows us to just jump in and out of vehicles whenever we wish. With regards to classes, he says that there will be 6: Heavy, Trooper aka Assault, Officer, Sniper, Spy and Engineer. If we do see 6 classes, then it will feel a little bit more like the classic games and also just add more variety to the gameplay. I'm also hoping that reinforcements do make their way back into the game as well, but perhaps they'll be integrated into this new class system. Now for heroes, they've apparently said that every faction will at least have a trio. So for the Separatists it would be Maul, Dooku, Grievous. For the Republic it would be Anakin, Obi-Wan, Padme. Han, Luke and Leia for the Rebels, Vader, Boba, Palpatine for the Empire, Rey, Finn, Poe for the Resistance, and lastly Kylo, Phasma and Hux for the First Order. Now I imagine this is probably just the posters' ideas for what they could be, but either way things will no doubt be subject to change, and by the end of it, if the game does launch, then there could very well be more. Finally, he says that most games will be one faction against another like the normal games as well, but that DICE wants to include battles between 2 factions beyond the main 6, with Mandalorians coming up as an example. Something like that would definitely be awesome, but I imagine this won't be a huge priority, but perhaps could be something to see post-launch. If all of these things are true and do come to the game at some point if the game is actually being made, then obviously that would be pretty awesome, but it's best not to get your hopes up so early. Please don't take any of what this rumour has said as any kind of confirmation. People can easily make these things up and make it sound convincing, but let me know in the comments what you think about all of this. That is going to be it from me today though guys. Thank you all very much for watching and may the force be with you always.